Hi guys, welcome back to the garage. Thanks for joining me today. Thought I'd put together just a real quick video on how I lay out my grips on my bows. When you're designing your bow, and it depends on the type of bow that you're designing, and there's lots of different aspects that go into bow design, but let's say, for example, if you're putting together an English longbow, the typical design methodology with the grip is to find the center of the bow and then draw a line like 1 inch up from center line and 3 inches down, and that becomes your 4-inch grip. And what that effectively does is make the top limb 2 inches longer than the lower limb. So if you think about it, from center you've only come up 1 inch, bottom you've gone down 3, you've taken an inch from the bottom limb, you've added an inch to the top limb, and there are 2 inches in play here. So that top limb is 2 inches longer than the lower, and as you're tillering a bow in that scenario, you're tillering two different length limbs, and that can become a little difficult for someone who's new to tillering and can struggle to pick up how stiff the lower limb should be versus the upper limb to get an even bend. And that is the argument for, let's say, like a flat bow, someone that's drawing out a flat bow that does everything straight from center, right? So I draw a center line, I go 2 inches above, 2 inches below, that's my grip. I go another couple inches for fades and run limbs of equal length, and that way we can tiller our bow directly from center and have we can have a matching arcs on either side of that bow. We can switch top for bottom, we can go left or right, we can do whatever we want in that scenario and have a, I don't know, just a equal bow on both sides. So the argument for for having equal length limbs, of course, is the ease of tillering. Now, the problem comes in the ease of handling that bow. So I've got a couple bows here that are set up one of each way. So this is the first bow I ever made. This was featured in couple of my videos, the wrap video and my, just a couple videos. But this is set up equal proportions or equal dimensions on both sides of the center of the bow. So if I put my finger here and just give it a fulcrum right at the center on the grip, it pretty much balances right here on center. All right. The trouble with this in handling is that the natural fulcrum of your hand is on your middle finger. So if you think about it and you put your hand at your side, when you're holding your bow, the balance is on that center finger. And in this scenario, this bow will just drop out of the back of your hand. It doesn't really balance in your hand. So over the course of the day, if you're out hunting or if you're shooting for any length of time and you are being mobile with this bow, what you begin to find is that you're fighting it all day long on the back side because it's constantly, for lack of a better way of saying it, dragging anchor all day. Your lower limb is just dragging behind you. It's always wanting to fall. All right, so there's that scenario. Then there's this scenario where the limb on this bow, the upper limb, is in fact 2 inches longer than the lower, and you can see how it balances much closer to the arrow shelf. And so in the hand, it balances very naturally. And in doing so, or designing it this way, it's not dragging anchor. It actually just becomes I don't know that anything's a pleasure to carry all day long, but it becomes less of a nuisance, and it becomes very easy to bring to present in terms of taking aim. You're not encumbered in any way should you need to get around an obstacle in front of you to camp the bow straight however you're shooting. This will not fight you during the course of the day. Now, the difficulty, again, as I had talked about, top limb is 2 inches longer than the lower limb, which presents some issues when you're tillering if you're not familiar with doing it. It takes a lot of practice to get that right. And so I have found a way in the bows that I make to kind of compensate for both. So I have just the roughed out blank for a bow, and it has a riser on here that is 8 inches in length from fade to fade. So I've got 4 inches in the middle, etc. 4 inches plus. This bow will balance on center. All right, and so what we have here are 2 equally length limbs. It makes it easy to tiller them. Okay, what helps with the handling piece of it is how you lay your grip out on this length. Okay, so here's our center, but this is going to become just below the arrow shelf. So in effect, when you're putting together that grip, because this is made from the same style blank, so here are the ends of the riser pieces, and it's going to balance in the center of those 2 riser pieces. But you'll notice that it's right up on your right up on the arrow shelf here. And so here again with this particular bow, it balances very easily right on that fulcrum of your center finger. And so handling this bow is much easier than one that, say, is geographically centered where it's dragging tail again. So this bow will sit evenly in your hand without dragging forward or backward, and again will present very quickly to the target. It's very easy to maneuver through the brush or anything else that you're doing, roving, hunting, or what have you. And by virtue of placing that shelf just, in my case, in most cases, an inch and a quarter above that center line, that geographical center, and creates a longer top side, but we gobble it up in the window of the cutout for our shelf. Now, you do not have to cut out a window here, but it does leave a little extra riser on the top part of your hand here, which means you do have to designate a top limb versus a lower limb when it comes time to forming the grip of your bow. So not something that you can go top for bottom, but you can go ambidextrous if you decided to do just a center, a thinned neck, etc. on your grip. And so that's how I lay out my risers. I do put them dead center so that my limbs are the same length, but it's when we're cutting out the actual grip itself, it is apportioned like 2/3 of the lower half becomes the grip, and the top third becomes the transition for the arrow pass. So there you go, just a quick little tutorial on my how I lay out my grip. If I can answer any other questions, you have anything more to add, feel free to drop a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next video.